Hello, everybody. Hey, best friend. Hey, Jasmine. Hey, Lachelle. Good to see y'all. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Regina. Listen, y'all ready? Hey, Lakeela. Y'all better get this information now. Hey, Felicia. Good to see you. Hey, Lavella. Hey, Carla. I just saw a picture of you, girl. You and Hope. Hey, Dad. Hey, First Lady White. Hey, y'all. Listen, y'all are ready. I am here for it. I love it. I love it. We're going to give it a couple minutes for people to join. Hey, Nene. Hey, Miss Graham. Long time no see, girl. Hey, Tiffany. Everybody come on in. Hey, Tammy. Good to see you, sis. Hey, Katina. Hello, Yasmin. Hey, Ebony. Good to see you. All right, y'all. We will get started in like a minute because I do want to read all of the ladies' bios for today. We are in for a treat. I do have the questions that everyone submitted ahead of time. However, if there is something that comes up after we go through the questions that were already pre-submitted, please feel free to put your question in the chat. Yes, Regina. Real estate is on my list as well. So I was going to try and multitask and take notes as they're talking, but I'm just going to wait until later on tonight and I'll go back and watch it again and take notes so I can go back and forth. Hey, Miss Hodge. Hey, Gia. Hey, Dakisha. Hey, Todd. Welcome, everybody. All right, y'all. It is 3:02. I'll give it another minute and then I will go into the bios for today because I don't want to hold everyone too long. And I know at 6 we have prayer. So again, I just want to make sure that I'm staying within the time constraints. And I don't want to keep my ladies on too long because they're blessing us today. I know it's been a long day already. So I'm going to make sure that we start at a decent time. Okay, so I'm excited today, y'all. If you were not a part of the initial conversation, so one of my very dear friends posted a few weeks ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, that when she woke up, she heard God concerning real estate. And if you've ever desired real estate, have a passion for real estate, want to know about real estate, now is the time. So on that post, there was so many comments. I was completely blown away. Myself, I've been thinking about doing real estate for actually a couple of years. So, but I just had too much going on. I was in school, I'm working, mom life, wife life. I was just like, I don't know if I can do this right now. But just seeing everyone on that post just really sparked something. And then one of our speakers got on there, Courtney, was like, hey, I'm a part of real estate. How can I help you guys? And then my aunt, chimed in and I'm like, well, wait, let's have a whole conversation about this. What does this look like? And then I reached out to Dr. Brooks, which I've known for a very long time, and she is amazing in real estate. So I'm like, let's get the best of the best here to answer the questions for the people. So I am so excited for this forum. This forum is completely for you ladies. Please make sure that you have pen and paper. Make sure that you are taking notes because you are about to get some amazing information. If your friends are not on here, tag them, tell them they need to get on right now because we are about to have an amazing conversation. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hey, Ma. Hey, Dr. Lewis. Hey, Lily, Sean, Esther, Jasmine, Jamie, everybody that's just coming in. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with our bio since we have 3 speakers on today. The first one is Dr. Darsha Brooks. As an entrepreneur, educational leader, realtor, and executive leadership coach, y'all, Dr. Darsha Brooks has led, coached, mentored educators, corporate leaders, realtors, and executives in the areas of career and personal development, assessments, organizational leadership, and communication. Her career as an educational leader and adjunct professor in Metro Atlanta school districts and universities for over 20 years, y'all, has prepared her for her ultimate purpose in life. Dr. Brooks has developed a passion for igniting and supporting leaders and executives with their personal and professional goals. She believes that in order to excel at an optimal level in your career, you must first develop and excel in your spiritual and your personal life. Amen. She inspires her clients to propel in their careers, workplace, and family through practical and tangible transactional skills and transformational goals needed to achieve and perform at a greater level and with peace of mind. Dr. Brooks is the owner of Luxury Atlanta Realty Group at Palmer House Properties. She has worked as a professional realtor for 15 years, educating on the home buying and ownership process, serving investors and mentoring and coaching other realtors. She is the recent founder and owner of Advanced Executive Leadership Coaching, where she specializes in leadership development, organizational leadership, character strengths development, emotional intelligence, communication skills, and team building. A few of her clients are leaders at Coca-Cola Bottling Company, um, Pruitt Healthcare, and Salesforce Software Company. Dr. Brooks is a native of Atlanta, Georgia. She earned her bachelor's degree from Clark Atlanta University in English, a master's degree in school counseling from Clark Atlanta University, and her doctorate degree, y'all, in educational leadership from the University of Sarasota in Sarasota, Florida. And she just recently received her executive leadership diploma from Emory University. Y'all, she is amazing. She is the proud mother to Kia. I hope I said it right. And she is an active member of Word of Faith Cathedral Church and dedicated member of the Atlanta Suburban Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Dr. Brooks believes in renewing her mind daily with scriptures and positive affirmation. And one of her favorite affirmations is, "All things are working out for me." I absolutely love it. Love it. Okay. I am also going to read Miss Courtney Aiken, her bio. So, hailing from Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, Courtney Aiken is a 2007 cum laude graduate of Spelman College. Go ahead, girl. And the CEO and founder of Showcase Enterprises and Finding Me Before I'm Found. Come on, single ladies. You need to be a part of this. Okay. She is amazing. An ordained evangelist. Okay, girl. She serves under the leadership of Overseer Derek and Evangelist Latrice Ryan of Latrice Ryan Ministries. I know y'all all know her. Based in Memphis, Tennessee. And she is loyal, y'all. When I tell you whatever Latrice has going on, Courtney is on it. Promotion wise, she supports her leaders. Okay. So listen, she is faithful to her leader, faithful to her ministry. So y'all definitely need to follow her. Courtney considers her businesses to be her ministry as she spreads God's love and word to others through her various ventures and travels in the music and various industries. Founded in 2015, Finding Me Before I'm Found is geared towards helping single women to find who they are in God. I love it. Ministry, businesses, and other areas of life. Finding Me has had such a great impact that newly engaged, married, and divorced women have gotten connected to her ministry. That's powerful. Known to many as the CEO, okay, and one of the hardest working women in the kingdom, Courtney's mission is to showcase God to the world beyond the four walls of the church and convert souls into the kingdom. I absolutely love it. Okay, and then I also have my aunt who is a realtor, Miss Elaine Loggins, and she has over 16 years of experience, y'all, as a real estate broker servicing the Central Georgia area. She is married to the Percy Loggins, and she has one daughter, Jillian, and currently serves as the associate broker of Maximum One Platinum Realtors in Warner Robins, Georgia. And she is amazing, y'all. Both listen. Dr. Darsha and my aunt Elaine are amazing realtors. Amazing realtors. If you need some help in that area, they are your people. When me and Brandon was actually the house that I'm in right now, I called my aunt Lane when we were getting ready to move down here, and she got me with the right person. When we moved here, this was a developing community. So we literally got this house built from the ground up. And I made one call. My aunt Elaine put us in contact with the right person. And within, I don't even think it was a week, we were signing the papers. And this is our first house. So if it wasn't for her help, we would not be here. And I have had the pleasure of just seeing Dr. Darsha in action concerning a lot of my friends. Actually, she's done a lot of work with them. So I'm so happy to have these ladies on. I am going to go ahead and bring them on, and we are going to get this conversation started. So hey, ladies.
Hi, how is everyone?
We are good. We are so good. Let me pull up these questions, and we're going to go ahead and get this conversation going. Give me just a minute. Let me go back and pull up the questions. I thought I had them up. Hold on just a minute. Okay, got them. All right, y'all. So, and I'll pass the first one over to you, I guess, Elaine. One of the first questions is, how do you get started in real estate? And I'll mute everyone else's mic, but how do you get started with real estate? Where do you go? What's the first thing that we do?
Okay. That was, I have to put my helpers on. To get started, it's really simple. You just really need to decide. Making up your mind is more than half the battle. But you have to just take a 75-hour pre-licensing course to become licensed. You have to pass a background check. And after that, you have to decide which brokerage you want to become a part of initially. Because before you can get your broker's license and go out on your own, you'll need to work underneath someone for 3 years. But it's really important to decide which brokerage that offers some training to help you build up, get your foundation going. Because once you get your foundation, as we all know, a strong foundation is really important in whatever you decide to do in life. So after you get your foundation, after that 3 years, then you can go out on your own or continue to stay at that brokerage. But it's a very simple process. We say it's simple, but you have to make up your mind. It's some work involved, but it is well worth it.
Awesome. So I'll pass it over to you, Dr. Darsha, just to give us some input.
Okay, so the person who asked the question in reference to getting started in real estate, I guess you have to ask exactly what it is that you want to do. Because I started in real estate and didn't have license. I started out as an investor because I thought that I wanted to just make money and build wealth through real estate, because basically that's what, research tells you, that you can actually build wealth through real estate. So I started out investing first and obtaining mentors. I had to bump my head a few times and, making good transactions, not making good transactions. But actually, do you want to be a salesperson or do you want to be an investor? Or what route do you want to go? So determine that first, which route you want to go. Do you want to actually go out and promote real estate through sales? Or do you want to actually invest and flip properties or invest in be a landlord? Or, what route do you want to go in real estate? But before I ask anyone a reference to that, real estate is something you have to have a passion for, okay? It has to also be a calling. Dr. McCrae, Erica read my bio. I have so many degrees. I have more degrees than the demometer has. But real estate is my passion. I can stay up all day and all night doing real estate. It doesn't seem like work to me. So anything you have a passion to do, it won't even seem like it's work for you. So number one, decide which route you want to go in the real estate business. And number two, is this really a passion for you? Because like I say, I help people from across the walking world when it comes to real estate because it does not seem like work. So that's the part I would add to this in reference to getting into the real estate business, because Georgia has so many realtors. I mean, that people have license all day long. Everybody's not making money in real estate. But in order to really be successful at this has to be something that you're not driven by money to do. It will come to you. Work will come to you. It's like you are called to do this. So really think about that, pray about it, and see if that's something that really, truly you have been led and called to do.
That's good. Thank you for that. And I'm going to pass it over to Courtney because Courtney was like, yes. So I'm going to pass it over
Yeah,
to you to give some feedback.
absolutely. Just to piggyback off of what Dr. Darsha said, it is about determining what in real estate you want to do, because there's so many different opportunities and ways to work in real estate. For me, I've actually worked on the backside, on the legal side of real estate, and working on with funding loans. So I work as that middle person, the liaison between the agents, the lenders, and also the buyers and the sellers as well. And I also work with a lot of investors. So I see like the paperwork, I see like the beginning to ending process. So really, it's so many different ways. Even how Dr. Darshan mentioned property management, that's one area. You could be a community association manager working with different HOA associations. My very, very first job in real estate was actually as an office manager for a real estate company. So, like, I got to learn how to do the marketing, the promotions. I learned how to put the contracts and everything together. You can also, even if you want to start out as a closing coordinator, because we see a lot of those that are out right now. And closing coordinators are like the right hands for agents, where they're administratively making sure that everything is intact between the attorneys, between the lenders, and between both the buyers and the sellers. That's also a great way, just if you want to shadow someone and still earn some income, and that you can get paid by transaction with
Wow.
that. So it's really limitless.
Awesome. Awesome. Cool. Thank you, ladies, so much for that information. Three separate backgrounds, and that's so much great information. So yes, we really, like, for me, I want to do real estate, but I mean, I just want to do real estate because I know that it's something that I can build upon. But like Darsha was saying, is it a passion of mine? I wouldn't say that it's a passion of mine. What I'm doing now is a passion of mine, pushing women. But, that's something to think about. So if I do decide to do real estate, what's my reasoning in doing it? Am I just wanting to invest, or do I want to be a salesperson? Is this something that I will be able to say, like to Dr. Darsha's point, I'm passionate about this. So that really, really puts it in perspective. So ladies, please make sure that you figure out what part of the business you want to go in and why you want to do that. So that was really, really good. One of the other questions, and I'll pass it back to you, Elaine, is, I guess this is kind of twofold. So how much is it to get a license? How long do you have to be in school? And then I guess what's next after you receive that license?
Okay, but before I go on to that, I did want to mention this. I had
Uh-huh.
made a couple of notes, and I was going to do it later in the program. But there are several other roles that you can play into real estate. One that's really important is the marketing specialist. I'm in need of a marketing specialist right now myself. That's a huge role. A home stager in today's market, staging properties is wide open, and we really need that because first impressions are lasting impressions, and that really makes a huge difference. up spending double. But I always travel out of the area when I get ready to do my classes or continuing education or anything, because I get to meet other great agents, and I learn so much from the classroom setting, person to person. I also get to build a network of agents for referral business that also works well and is another stream for me.
Sorry, y'all. I keep forgetting. Okay, so Elaine, how much is it to get a license, and like how long do you have to be in school? So you mentioned that you were in school for the 3 weeks because you took an in-person course. So typically, how much is it to go to school? And I guess this is before we talk about what to do after your license, which one for you, you said in person for you works best. And this will be for all of you ladies. Which one do you recommend for someone just starting out, in person or online?
Yeah. Total, it was about $500 for my course.
Okay.
The books and everything, but it's still a little more expensive than that because you have to pay when you take your test to get licensed, and you also have to pay when you join the board. So to start out, you'll need about at least a couple of $1,000s.
Okay.
You really don't have your computer and everything, but you'll need a laptop, a cell phone, a computer, and then to pay for your licensing. So I would say about $2,500 total.
Gotcha. And that's your class. That's everything that you're going to need, and that's also paying for the board, you said, as well as your test.
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Dr. Brooks? What do you think is best, the online or in person? And how much was it for you when you went?
Well, for me, first of all, I would say determine your learning style, because I thought that because it would be convenient, I'll do online. So I started out with the online thing. Okay, I'll go ahead and I'll finish this now, knock this out. I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm a great learner. I'm self-motivated. And I'm like, the online just didn't quite work for me because I like the one-on-one in reference to being able to ask questions and be able to get an instructor's feedback and personal knowledge and, just a personal touch when it comes to that. So I tried the online and it just didn't fit me. Not saying that it was challenging or anything like that. You just have to be very disciplined and being able to ask specific questions. You don't get that. So I enrolled at Barney Fletcher, which was extremely good. Most of their professors or instructors rather have actually written the course or the test that you have to take for the state. Many of them have written for that specific state test. So that was good. So I enrolled at Barney Fletcher. So I would just say first, define and determine basically how you learn best. Although online may be more convenient, does that really work for you? So I enrolled in the evening classes. So you can either do like Ms. Loggins did, and you can go 3 weeks straight and get your license, because it doesn't matter. You have to have at least 75 hours. That's what the state says. So there are some programs where you can go in the evening, or you can go 3 weeks straight all day, like you're going to work, like from 9 to 5. Or you can go in the evenings also and get your 75 hours that way. So I ended up enrolling in Barney Fletcher Real Estate School, which is in Cobb near the Galleria, excuse me, near Cumberland, and that worked extremely well. There are also some other schools, such as Metro Brokers. They have a license program. So there are some other programs out here where you can go and get your license in person. And they're mainly made up the same way, 3 weeks straight, like Ms. Loggins did, or they have evening classes as well. But for those of you who wish to go the online route, I would also check into the CE shop. It's called CE shop. I go through them to actually get my continuing education coursework out the way, because you have to continue to do CE, get CE credits when you get your license. So I go through CE Shop oftentimes to get my online, just to renew my license. And they have an online program you can take as well.
Awesome. And I'll pass it over to you in just a moment, Courtney. But I did look at Barney Fletcher as well online. And I believe right now they're actually doing a sale too.
Okay.
I think it was like $239 or something. So they had discounted it down the last time I checked before we set this up.
Great.
So yeah, to your point, you definitely have to know what your method of learning is. For me, after I finished my bachelor's degree, everything else, the rest of my degrees was all online, and I love it. It's convenient. I'm structured. So if you are not that person, then please do not waste your money, because you are going to get frustrated and then you'll have to start over. And like my Aunt Elaine was saying, you're already close to $2,000. So do not waste your money. Figure out what's going to work for you and find the best school. So I'll pass it over to Courtney if you want to elaborate.
Sure. Well, I actually, back when we had the recession back in 2008, I actually took courses at Bob Wood Real Estate Academy in 2007, and I took the test and everything. But then when the recession hit, then the real estate market took a really bad hit at that time, so I wasn't able to actually go forth with my license, but I did take the coursework. And for me, it was much better to learn in person. My schooling was about 3 months long, and it was about the same amount. Like what I'm gonna call her Aunt Elaine too. It was about like that $500 area as well. So, but for me, it was just easier and better for me to learn in person. The classes were about maybe 2 hours, 2 days a week. No, actually, it was like 3 hours, 2 days a week. It was a sacrifice because it was in the evening times after work, but it was really worth it. And it really prepared me because I was able to pass the test the first time around. So, and we know that test, and I know we'll get into that. That test is not the easiest, but just having that experience being in class, and being around my classmates, it just helped me to learn better. So that's just me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Amber, I see your question. I'll make sure that I get to it once I go through the other ones. So I will pass it back over to, let's back in this same kind of vein. So Darsha, you said that Barney Fletcher and CE Shop. The question is, what are the top 3 online schools that you would recommend? So I know that you said Barney Fletcher, CE Shop. Is there any other online recommendations that you ladies have?
The Georgia MLS also has an online schooling as well. And that's a portal that you can also search and find different properties. But yes, you can also take continuing education classes with Georgia MLS. So they also have an online program as well. So I would recommend Georgia MLS as well for licenses.
I'm sorry, y'all. I keep talking on mute. Auntie Lane or Courtney, any other ones that you ladies know of that you would recommend? No? Georgia MLS. Okay, so Barney Fletcher, Georgia MLS, and the CE Shop. So those are the top 3, ladies. Okay, so next question is, let's see, what are some cons that you have experienced since working in the field? So I'll start off with you, Aunt Lane, and then I'll pass it to Darsha and Courtney.
Some cons, it's very difficult. People think that it's very easy to say you manage your own schedule, but real estate will consume you. Even if it's your passion and you love it like we all do, but it will consume you. It'll take you away from your family. It'll take you away from your faith. It'll take you away if you don't set boundaries. So it's very, very important
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Aunt Lane. I'm going to pass it over to you, Dr. Brooks.
Okay, so the first thing I would say is actually learn the business. Learn, and continue to learn. I started out, like I shared earlier, as an investor. I wasn't a licensed realtor at the time. So I thought that I could do like I see people doing on television all the time. I can buy me a property and I can flip this property, or I can buy this property and I can get me some tenants in it. So I was working with some other quote unquote investors too. And I took a hard money loan. I went and got a loan and I started building a house. I figured they do it on TV all the time, so can't be that hard. I figured, hey, you're fairly smart, so you can learn this as you go. But it didn't quite work out like that. So luckily, I was able to, just through God, give that house back to the hard money lenders I got the money through. So basically, I ended up having a foreclosure because it didn't quite work out. So I tell people all the time, you learn, you make mistakes, you grow, you reinvent, and you keep pushing and you keep going. So that's how and when I decided to get my license, because it's like, I'm going to learn this business. I'm going to learn about, actually, if I'm going to be an investor, I'm going to learn the investing part of being in the real estate business. It's a business. Real estate is, excuse me, is a business. And I tell people, don't take it for granted that you could just jump in and just start making money. Okay. You're going to jump in here and you're going to learn what it takes to have properties. You're going to learn what it takes to actually the transaction part of it, the contractor part of it, because you can go to jail for doing things that you shouldn't be doing. Excuse me, if I didn't have God on my side on the original part of it, luckily I just got a foreclosure on my credit at that time. Okay, other than some other things that went wrong with trying to build a property from the ground up and thinking that I was going to actually get me some tenants and I was going to move forward and have this big lavish lifestyle, which didn't go like that. So I tell people, get a mentor. I have friends right now who pay their mentors because they know that these are people who have gone through the business, they've learned it and whatever, but you can get a mentor who's willing to support you for free. But learn the business, get a mentor, and continue to be humble in the process and grow and pray as you grow and, as you go through the business. So if you're going to be an investor, get a mentor. All right. Walk with that person side by side as you learn this business. If you're going to be a real estate licensed realtor, still get a mentor, learn the contractual side of it. Okay. Contracts can make or break your real estate deal. If you don't have a contract that's structured correctly, you can do your clients a disservice and losing money and losing a property. So even if you're just starting out in the business and you get your real estate license, walk through the process with someone. Even if you get with a real estate company and they have all these different training programs, go through the training program, but get with someone who's willing to help you grow in this business. So I would say the cons was basically for me when I started out in being an investor and didn't have someone to walk with me through the process. So that's why now when I have clients and they say, okay, well, I invest, because there are a lot of people, to be an investor, you don't have to have a license. So that's number one. You do not have to have a real estate license to be an investor. I mean, it's good to have a license, but you don't. So determine basically if you're going to be an investor, learn the business. If you want to be a professional real estate agent or a realtor, learn the business, or whatever side you're going to actually go in this business, learn it first. Okay, like Ms. Loggins, Elaine said, real estate can take up a lot of your time, especially if you're an entrepreneur, because you're hungry, you're eager, you're excited, you want to make money. And if before you know it, all day, you can just stay focused on real estate and lose the time. So have some form of time management and a system in place when it comes to actually being your own boss and having your own business when it comes to real estate as well. So that would be my input for that part.
That was great. Thank you so much, Courtney. I'm going to pass it over to you.
So I would also say the time is certainly important. Attention to detail. Like you have to make sure that you have attention to detail because I'll just give an example. I remember we were in a closing and the attorney had to give me a file back because there was like the buyer did something like missed a $5 payment or something for the closing. So I had to go back to underwriting. So they had to sit there, had to go back through underwriting. Underwriting had to approve that extras, and then we had to proceed with the closing. So the small things, the little things matter. They make the biggest difference. So I would say before you even get into real estate, like making sure that you pay attention to the small things, because those again can make a huge difference. Make sure that you have thick skin, tough skin in real estate, because that customer service piece is so important. You want to continue to have referrals and everything, but real estate can be a beast. It can be a monster. Because when you're talking about dealing with thousands of dollars or even millions of transactions, people go crazy over their money. You know what I mean? And so you want to be sure, and it's also an industry where it's very easy for people to point fingers at the other person if something does not go right. You know, and I've seen that a lot. I've been working with lenders now for 13 years and I've seen it. You know, when something doesn't go right, you'll try to put the blame on the other person, on the other party. You know, so make sure you have thick skin, making sure you can stand on your own, especially as females, you know, not letting anyone intimidate you, but being confident in who you are and confident that you can carry out these transactions. So for me, that's really important, like having that thick skin, and not letting things get the best of you. You know what I mean? Because like I said, it can be a monster, it can be a beast, but it's also a great industry to be in because ultimately the purpose is to help families or help an individual to achieve that American dream, to get that home. And so even through all of the frustration and the chaos and the things that may come, at the end of the day, I remember what the purpose is. And that's what continues to keep me going because I know that I'm helping someone make their first and biggest investment, you know, to, you know, carry on or to create their family legacy. And that's really ultimately really what it's all about, you know. And just to really piggyback off of what Dr. Brooks said, you know, it is also important to make sure that you get that education piece. Like, please get educated. I have a friend who's a realtor, but she's also an investor. And she thought, just like watching the TV shows, oh, it's easy. I could just flip a house. And she had 3 other partners, and all of that fell on her. And I literally saw my friend go through anxiety attacks, panic, all of this stuff. We had to have come to Jesus meetings because all of this was falling on her. So in addition to her household bills, she's now having to pay a hard money lender $2,200 a month because they flipped this house, but it wasn't a buyer's market at the time. So, you know, those are the different factors and stuff. So, but had she had that mentor, she wouldn't have fallen into that situation. Thankfully, they finally sold the house 12 months later, you know, but it was a disastrous what she went through just to get there. So make sure you get educated, make sure you get that mentorship. I mean, I have to emphasize that as well because you don't want to put yourself in bad situations. I just had a closing a couple weeks ago, and the day after the closing, someone brings me a material men's lien for $8,000 on a property that has to be taken care of because that person, that investor, did not manage paying all the contractors and everything. So there's a lot. That education piece is so important. So that's what I have to say.
Awesome. Wow. So time management to making sure that you're taking care of your money, making sure that you know the business and you have a mentor that understands the business. Those are some really, really amazing tips. Thank you, ladies, so much. One of the questions we had, and I'll pass it to whoever wants to answer, is what are some of the safety recommendations that you guys would give to a new realtor? Do you carry a gun? Do you take someone with you when you are showing houses, when you are doing closings, things of that nature? So whoever would like to answer that one. Anybody?
I always say, always follow your gut feeling. And no transaction, I don't care how big it is worth getting hurt or killed over. There's no commission check big enough for that. So, but I would say put something in place and follow it, whatever it is. If it's meet someone at a public place, at a coffee shop, get a picture of their driver's license. A lot of different brokerages, they have the different procedures, but I don't go meet a stranger, someone that I've never met before. I never go meet them by myself, even though I've been in the business for 16 years. I just don't do that. I'll meet them at the office or at Starbucks, or I'll take my husband with me or my daughter, or somebody that'll stay in the car. But I don't meet strangers alone. And you can also do your due diligence and vet your customers or your clients. I know if you're just starting out, you're really excited about getting a transaction going, and sometimes you might forget, but that's something that you should not forget to be safe, because that can definitely come back to bite you. So always keep that in the front of your mind by far to follow your safe practices, whether it's call somebody or call your girlfriend or another agent and say, hey, I'm at this house and I just don't feel comfortable. Call me in 5 minutes, or like I say, get a picture of their driver's license, get their tag number, do your due diligence online. I mean, when someone calls you, you can definitely do a quick search, check out their social media, just make sure that you're safe, because at the end of the day, there is no transaction worth it. We all want to come back home to our families.
Amen. Anything else, Leigh?
Yeah. Whenever I have a potential client, I always take the time to have a phone conversation with him or her in reference to just sharing information about myself and obtaining information about that other person. Prior to meeting anyone, I try to gain information, get a referral. I apologize to put it like this, because most of the time people can understand. It's just like dating. When you find someone you first meet, you get a reference. Basically, you want to find some information about that person. Hey, such and such just referred someone to me, and hopefully that would be someone who you actually know and has good judgment. But as Aunt Elaine indicated, I always go into prayer about everything. Trust your intuition, trust your spirit, and just be led by it. I never meet anyone at a property on the first meeting. We can meet at the office, or we can meet at a central location. Prior to Corona, we would meet like at a Starbucks, or we would meet at Panera Bread. And I always believe in, just breaking bread first. A snack or a lunch could give you, in conversation, can give you a good idea of who you're dealing with and what type of business arrangement this would be. So just like anything at work, build that relationship first. I just received a client and we talked over the phone, we text, and we've had several conversations. We have not gone out to see one property yet, because I have to get a feel. First of all, you want to know if you want to work with me. I want to know if I want to work with you. We want to know if it's going to be a good business arrangement for both of us, because all money is not good money. So I have to make sure that this is going to be a mutual business arrangement for both of us. So I would say that, when it comes to actually safety measures, working with people, obtaining clients, because you're right, when you get your first client, you're so excited. But at the same time, I want to make sure that this is going to just be a good working relationship for both of us first.
That's good. Thank you so much. Courtney, do you have anything to add? No. Okay. Awesome. All right. So the next question is, so once you get your real estate license, do you recommend someone doing real estate part-time? Do you recommend them actually being up under someone or trying to start their own practice? So I'll pass it back over to Elaine.
Well, you have to have your salesperson's license for 3 years before you can get your broker's license and go out on your own. So with that, you have to work with someone for 3 years. Now, whether you work on somebody's team, like an experienced agent team, a large real estate team, to gain experience, or if you're just go to the brokerage and work as an independent agent at that brokerage, that's a personal choice. But I would, like Dr. Brooks had said earlier, education is so important. So working around other agents, I would definitely be a sponge and absorb their practices, be it whether they're good or bad, to know if you want to do those same practices or never do those same practices. But I would definitely either work with a team and learn systems, because in real estate, really, discipline and systems are really key. If you have great systems and you're disciplined, you can make it in this business. So I would consider working on a larger team to understand the systems that are in place and start to put my own systems in place. But you do have to work 3 years before you can go out on your own.
Got it. Any additional feedback, Dr. Brooks?
What was your original question here?
So just can you do it? Do you recommend that you do it part-time? And then it was about whether or not you need to be up under someone, which we kind of established that already.
Well, these questions I'm having to give my personal experience, because that's the only thing I have to go on. So as Dr. McCray indicated, I'm an educational leader, so for a long time, and I continue to work in school districts, serving as an administrator. However, when real estate was going extremely, extremely well back in the 2006 and 7, I resigned from the school district for a few years to do real estate full time, because I'm thinking, hey, I can make it's just as much money as I'm making now, and I can be my own boss. I can make my own schedule. I can do my own thing. And it didn't quite work out like that, because you have to build your clientele, number one, and you have to just market and build your team, sell yourself, build your brand. Who are you? We see people all the time, every day. They sell themselves. You are your brand, okay? So if they mention and hear the word Darsha, just my first name, they have to know that I am great at what I do. So the huge mistake I made was I didn't build a brand prior to stepping out there. So if you want to do real estate full time, work on marketing yourself prior to that. Work on selling yourself, letting the people know what you're doing prior to stepping out there on your own. So build your brand, sell your business, sell who you are. You probably haven't sold one house, but you're going to sell yourself like you just know this business, like you're the best salesperson ever, okay? Because the best person to sell who you are is you. You know you better than anyone. So I would say before I'm going to quit what's bringing me constant money, I'm going to actually build a brand and build my business prior to doing that, okay? So I stepped out into real estate for 2 years full time, which was great for me because I learned so much. I learned, as Ms. Loggins, Aunt Elaine said, what to do. I learned what not to do as well, okay? Because I'm not married. I don't have another check coming in my house. So I had to learn what to do to actually make this work for me. So in saying that, I went back into education. So I still do real estate, but I tell people all the time, it's no such thing as a part-time realtor, okay? It's no such thing as a part-time realtor. I do real estate just as much and as many hours as I do and give to school districts. Okay. Because I'm up sometimes to 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, or whatever, still working on transactions and making sure that my business and my contracts are structured in the best interest of my client. So you can't just say, well, I'm doing real estate part-time. That's still full-time because you're going to give as many hours and dedication. And as Ms. Aiken said, you have to pay attention to details. And that's not something you can just do very quickly. So you still would be a full-time agent, okay? So if you're a realtor and you're on that real estate side of it, a salesperson, you are still a full-time agent. In my mind, it's no such thing as a part-time agent.
Okay, thank you so much. So one question to piggyback off of that. So you have your license and you're trying to get up under an agent or a broker. Do you have to stay within the city that you're in, or can you be up under someone that's in a completely different city than you?
Are you with the same company?
It was just a question. So this person right now doesn't have a real estate license. So once they get it, how do they go about, like, if they wanted to be up under one of you ladies and they're in a completely different city, is that possible?
Yes, so that's a good question. All right, so once again, I give real life examples. I encourage someone to get her real estate license because I believe in, for women, I just believe in actually having something that becomes you and having something that's really unique to who you are, and to be and place yourself in a position where to empower yourself. It's nothing about empowerment and bringing in your own other than saying that, hey, this is something that I have accomplished. So I encourage another woman to go out and get a real estate license. Thus far, she has not made a real estate transaction. So she went, and once she got her license, she hung her license under another broker. It wasn't with me. It wasn't with the company that I'm currently with. I'm with Palmer House Properties, and I have established my own real estate company under, and I have my license with Palmer House Properties. So I hope I'm not confusing anyone. But when she got her license, she went with Metro Brokers, another company. But when she got a client, she wanted me to share information and mentor, and I can do that all day long. And you can be with another company and someone can still mentor you. However, when it comes to this fee and when it comes to closing, that means that now on that contract, you have to place me down and give me a referral fee if that you choose to do that. That's something that you two have to work out, that you can give me a referral fee, okay, for assisting in that process. So you can still be with another company, but it all depends on what you and another person work out as far as what that transaction fee will look like. But it would be better if you two are with the same company.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So does anyone else have anything to add on that? Elaine, do you have anything?
No, that was a great answer.
Okay. What about you, Courtney? No. Okay. So what was the question that I was about? So as far as mentorship, since we're down that vein, do you ladies do mentorship? What is your feedback on mentors for people that are receiving their license, or just even, I guess, wanting to know about the process? Like, what is your feedback on how to get the right mentor?
Well, you're going to pay one way or the other. You pay from your mistakes, or you pay and learn from someone else. I did not have a mentor when I started in real estate, and I paid for that dearly. If I had hindsight, I would have gotten a mentor or a professional coach. Right now, I'm in coaching, but I would definitely recommend getting a mentor. And yes, as part of what I do and giving back, us to have a slice, then we could do that as well. But yeah, mentoring is great. I recommend that highly.
Awesome. Dr. Brooks or Courtney?
I would say, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, serious.
Okay. I would say finding, first of all, setting the goals that you want to achieve within real estate, and then finding someone who is at that level or has exceeded that level that you want to achieve. You know what I mean? Because, like we spoke about earlier, there are different ways to get into real estate. So, depending on what specifically you want to do, like if you want to be a part of, I know that you have like the $1 million club for real estate, right? So if you are like, okay, well, I want to be a member of that or achieve like 7 figures in sales, finding someone who has done or exceeded that. So doing that research, not just going up under somebody just because, they're in it, but someone who actually has evidence of success. So that's what I was saying. That goes back to studying and learning the industry.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Dr. Brooks?
No, they provided great feedback with that. So I wouldn't want to just, say something just to be saying something, but yes, truly in the mentor and find, it's about your vision. Okay. What is your vision? What's your end goal? What's your why behind why you're doing this? And when you determine your why, then that's the direction you will actually start going in reference to who you want to mentor you. All right. Like I shared earlier, you want to interview people just like they're interviewing you. Interview people to determine if that's the right person for you. Just because a person is doing real estate doesn't mean that may be the right person for you. So determine what is your why, what's your end goal, and find someone who can help you propel and even exceed at the level that that person is doing. But yes, what is your why behind what you're doing? And then find someone who can support you in accomplishing your goals.
Awesome. And I think one thing that Aunt Elaine said that's really important, like a lot of people, so mentorship can go one or two ways, but what I don't want people to do is waste other people's time. And that's the thing, like everyone always says when they see someone doing something, they say, oh, well, can you mentor me? Can you do this? But you got to think about that. That's that person's time. That's that person's dedication to your success. And if you're not serious about it, then they've wasted their time. So to Aunt Lane's point is you're going to pay one way or the other. So I would say definitely find that person that suits you, but also, figure out what that relationship looks like. Like Dr. Brooks was saying, once you're in there, are we going to work with the same company, or are you going to work for another company and I get a referral fee or whatever that is? So don't just go into a mentorship thinking that, oh, I'm not going to have to do anything. I'm not going to have to pay for anything. And I'm just going to get all of this knowledge, because these women have paid for the knowledge that they have, or just anybody in general that is doing this. So we just got to always make sure that we're looking at what we're doing as an investment. I just spent money on 2 business investments to get this training from these people, and I paid a pretty penny. And I'm a person that I don't even like to spend $5. So I knew if God was telling me to do this, that this was something that I had to invest in. And I'm learning in this season, you have to invest in what you want to do. Yeah, it may look like a lot. It may look like a large little chunk of money, but when you think about the long term and where you're going and the potential, you really got to focus on investing in yourself and investing in your business. So I had a question from one of the ladies. Is any of you ladies, I think Elaine, you said you are accepting mentees. Is anyone accepting mentees at this time?
Well, yes. I'm saying yes like that is because coaching is what I do. I learned that my gift is that of teaching. You have to find your spiritual gift. My gift is that of teaching. So being in education, being an executive coach leader, that is what I do. So teaching others so that they wouldn't have to make the same mistakes that I made is comes natural for me. But at the same time, I believe, as in Dr. McCrae stated, developing yourself spiritually, mentally, and mind, body, soul, and your mind. So you're gonna have to invest in. People go and join a gym. They don't have an issue with paying a gym membership. They don't. People go and they go to church. They pay the pastor, which is what you're supposed to do. And people go out and they invest in so many other things as it relates to their bodies. They go and have things done. You get a lot of things done. But when it comes to knowledge, sometimes they have a problem with investing in something that will support them financially, mentally, and support not just their family, but support them, period, as relates to their goals. So what I try to share with people, let's get out the mindset, I don't want to pay anyone for that. But you have to pay for something that you want to get a return from. Okay, what's the ROI for this? What's my return on this? So look at it as you investing in something that you're going to get a return from. So that's what I try to share with people when they say talk about coaches. And you're getting coached so that you can transform and go to another level in life. And that's what you're getting from here. So yes, I accept people all day long. I mentor, I coach, and I advise. So just know that this is not something you're just giving your money. You're getting a return on something for you.
Awesome. And Aunt Lane, you said that you are or no? I can't hear you. I can't unmute your mic because you muted yourself.
Yes, I am.
Okay. And Courtney, do you do any mentor? Do you have any mentorship opportunities? No.
Not in real estate.
Okay. Oh, that's good to know. So my mom had a question, and I kind of know this answer, but if you're licensed, if you want to practice in multiple states, you have to get multiple licenses, right? Okay. So I'll pass it over to Aunt Lane if you want to start off, and then Darsha, and then Courtney.
Yes, you have to be licensed in the state that you practice in, and it is a great. If you're able to do that, it's great to have multiple licenses in different states, especially states that border your state or states that you have family or great interest in. That's one of my next goals is to be multi-state.
Talking on mute. Do they all have, so we have the 75-hour course in Georgia. Do you then have to go to Florida and take more hours to take their test, or does it kind of roll over?
They have what you call reciprocity, where you go, that each state is different, so you'll have to read what their state law is and what it'll take for you to get your license in that state. But some states you don't have to start over, some you might, but I've just been looking at just a couple of states. But yeah, they all have different ones, so it'll be best to study the state law to find out what their law is around what their reciprocity law is.
Got it. Dr. Brooks, do you have any feedback?
No, Aunt Elaine explained it very well in reference to the reciprocity. In reference, you don't have to go through entire schooling. Just look to see, so you don't have to start over. So, like you said, the reciprocity will help shorten that time.
Awesome. Courtney, anything to add?
They touched on it. Just making sure you get which states you want to hit. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Those were all of the questions that I had on my list. I don't see any additional questions in the chat. I think that was everything. Ladies, do you have any questions before we wrap up? I will turn it over to Courtney, then Elaine, and then Dr. Brooks just to give final words. And I just want to say thank you, ladies, so much for this. This was very informative, and it's going to give the ladies a lot to think about when getting ready to pursue getting their real estate license. So I will pass it over to you, Courtney, then Aunt Lane, and then Dr. Brooks.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Erica, for asking me to be a part. I definitely enjoyed this and connecting and meeting Dr. Brooks and Aunt Elaine as well. And I would just say real estate is a great industry to get into. I mean, it's a great market as well. And like we said, it's just all about getting the education, and getting that mentorship that you need in order to be successful. So while it can be scary and while you can make mistakes, it's still a great industry to get in. Make sure you research and really put a great plan together, vision plan for it, just as you would your vision board or for any other type of business. And really put in the work. Don't try to just rush to get a lot of money really quick. Go through the process and take your time. It will come.
Thank you so much, Auntie Lane.
First, I'd like to thank Dr. Erica for inviting me and also to let her know publicly we are so proud of you and all of your accomplishments. You are amazing. And I watch you all the time. So it's just an amazing feeling to watch you grow and to come into your own. It's been
Oh,
great.
thank you.
Also, back to real estate is one of the best ways to build wealth. So I encourage anyone to invest into real estate. They are not producing or making any more land. That's it. It's all done. So to have a piece of God's great creation called real estate is wonderful. There's no get rich overnight. You are going to work. I know a lot of times people think and they see you succeeding, but they don't see the price that you've paid to get there. The nights, like Dr. Brooks said, you stay up till 1 and 2 o'clock working on contracts. When the deals fall through, the stress that you go through, or trying to find your buyer's properties, trying to get your seller's house sold, just trying to work your business and to make the American dream come true for a lot of young people. So there's no get rich quick. You will work at it, but it is well worth it. I would recommend it for anyone. It's well worth it. And thanks again.
Thank you so much, Auntie Lane. Dr. Brooks.
Right. Well, first of all, Dr. McCray, thank you so much for inviting me. I thoroughly enjoyed the panel, the session today. I enjoyed meeting Aunt Elaine. I feel like you're my aunt. I do. Yes. Courtney has such a spirit just to come through, just the, technology, loving spirit. And the ladies who are actually listening, I want to just commend you for just inquiring about real estate. God wants us to have multiple streams of income. He does. It's his desire that we have wealth. And he wants us, as Aunt Elaine said, this land that we have, we are to possess it. Okay? We are to possess this land. So I'm humble, I'm grateful, I'm almost emotional, in speaking and saying this, because this is something that will empower you as you serve. Being in real estate, you are in the service business. You are serving and supporting someone else with their dream. And I don't take that lightly, because I share with people, this is a huge investment that someone is making. They're not going out buying a purse. They're not buying shoes. They are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're spending millions of dollars, and they have entrusted me, Darsha, to help them with that. So I have to take that very seriously. And I have to make sure that I'm walking with God in this process. And I'm praying the whole time, help me make this transaction right, just for my client, because they empowered me and they entrusted me to make this right for them. So you're in the service business, and you have to be in a position where you can humble yourself and say, God, thank you so much, and help me to walk through this process to make sure this is in the best interest of my client. So thank you, Erica, for inviting me. I truly thank you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Always out there making moves. Uh, Place you in a position, Tim, to put a conference meeting together to support other women. I'm always about building other women. So thank you so much. And hopefully, Elaine and Miss Courtney will see each other again. So continue,
Yes.
women, to just continue to, and hopefully, you all will move on in this business of real estate. So hope this is not your last stop with this. Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, ladies. Again, this has been amazing. I admire all three of you ladies. You ladies have definitely made an impact on my life. So just to have you guys on here to pour into these ladies means the world. Y'all will be hearing from me because I think I am going to give this real estate thing a go once I get everything else that I have going lined up. But I truly appreciate you ladies and I honor you ladies just for taking time out of your busy day again to pour into these ladies. So thank y'all so much, ladies. Today is the last day of the month. Our focus on prayer. So we're actually going to end this day out on prayer. So at 6 o'clock, you guys join back in, and we have 6 dynamic ladies that will take us out in prayer for the month of May in 2020. So I love y'all. I am going to go ahead and end the broadcast, and I will see you ladies at 6. Talk to you later.